Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to your Pisces full moon reading. And this full moon is going to be happening on September 20th around 5:54 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you're at in the world, that's going to be when it's going to be at its fullest. And I love that this one's called the autumn moon, because whatever moon is closest to the autumn equinox, that one gets to have the title and wins the title of autumn moon. And since the autumn equinox happens on September 22nd, this one obviously is a couple days away. So that is why it's the autumn moon. So a little tidbit of fun information there. And I love that we're coming into this Pisces full moon following 2 consecutive months in Aquarius, with Aquarius full moons, 2 in a row. And those bring in this energy of hopes and dreams, of building community, assisting the whole collective in its evolution towards unconditional love. Now that can also put us into this sort of a stagnant dream state where we're daydreaming off in the future about this is what we want, and we may not take action toward it. But what's beautiful is this Pisces full moon brings in a perfect balance between the dreaminess and the dreaming, and looking into the future, but also taking practical steps towards our goals. And it's also, of course, with it being Pisces, it's a time of deep emotions. Full moon alone has deep emotions. And so definitely when you bring in Pisces into it, you do have a very expanded, explosive, emotional type energy. That also means the veil will be extra thin between the physical world and with our spiritual companions, our spiritual posse on the other side. So if we are unsure of the next steps we want to take, those practical steps, or we need advice, Spirit is waiting for, to give us the answers, to answer our questions, give us guidance and all that. Also, next month we'll be having a full moon in Aries. So Aries brings in a lot of, drive and ambition and inspiration. So we'll have a lot of extra energy to funnel into our progress on those practical steps, but also keeping in mind that Pisces, that's the end of the zodiac, kind of cycle, and we're starting a new one. So that can also bring in some possible revisions, and alter our course a bit. So something to keep in mind as we're going forward. Now, the last new moon in Pisces was back on March 13th of this year. So, when you look at the new moon, full moon cycles, it's about 6 months apart-ish, give or take a couple weeks, a few weeks. And so beyond the monthly phase, kind of moon phases, we have this large 6-month moon phase that happens. And so whatever was planted and kind of started at the new moon in Pisces, this full moon is the climax of that stuff. And then we start to, kind of wane back to the new moon, the next new moon in Pisces, which will be down, further down 6 months-ish from now. So back then, if you look back around March 13th, you might see that you were encouraged to kind of take this leap of faith, have this courage to share a dream, or you were harnessing, extra creativity. There's this huge energy around it about taking this movement forward, or forward movement. And so now is the time to revisit the plans we had back then, our dreams, whatever it was, and see what alterations we now want to make, what changes we want to make to those plans. What are we ready to let go of that no longer, is needed, no longer serves our, possibly altered dream, especially as we move into the Aries full moon. So for this reading, what we're going to ask is, what does Spirit want us to know about next steps? And so we're going to go ahead and jump in for your reading right now. All right, all my Geminis, this is your reading for the Pisces full moon. And since we're asking Spirit for messages about what your next steps can be, or what about your next steps, we're going to pull a card here from the Bird Messages deck, because your winged messengers are what bring you messages, right? So we'll see what bird is going to bring a message for you for your Pisces full moon. All right, Creator, Spirit, what bird has a message for our Geminis? Okay, this is the one here. And you have the blackbird. Beautiful. Look, there's the full moon. And it says, open to psychic awareness to recognize, what does it say? Oh, portents of the future. I thought it said parents. That's what happens when you get older. Your eyes need a little help. And we're going to see what else this blackbird brings, but how perfect. I open right up to the page too. So it says, the blackbird so mellifluous and heart-wrenching his song, so magically melodious his tune at twilight, that the Celts named him Black Druid. For blackbird sings as the solar energy of conscious action gives way to the lunar energy of unconscious desire, and the borders between worlds dissolve. Your lullaby as you drowse at summer's warm dusk, your companion in contemplation of winter's revitalizing chill, the blackbird's fluting tone is a magic charm. A charm which alters consciousness so that you may experience the truths and messages of the other world, and allows your dreams and their happenings to be portents of your future. If Blackbird announces his tuneful arrival in your cards, pay heed to your intuition and allow yourself to relax into magical daydreams where the future is revealed. Meander through nature at sunset and let your thoughts wander where they will. Blackbird is ready to open the door to your psychic self, if only you will let him. So, very clear message here for you. So during this, before the full moon, the week, like the week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and really the week after that too, right up to the new moon, that 3-week period, very important to focus in and take time to tune in to your higher self and to the other world, like it mentioned, connect to the spiritual realm, because there's going to have information and guidance, definitely clear messages for you coming for your next steps and for your future. Like it said, it even talked about the daydreaming, which we talked about for, with the Aquarian energies bringing in. It's like, yeah, definitely connect. Use your the Pisces beautiful energy to connect to the veil, because you are being blessed with extra energy for that connection. So extra clarity headed your way. We're also going to pull some cards here from the Fairies Tarot. And I'm going to pull 3 cards like I talked about, just to represent the week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and then 2 weeks after the full moon. Okay, so for the week before the full moon, what do you want our Geminis to know? Okay, that one there. And what about 2 weeks? I'm sorry, the week after. The week after, okay. Thank you. And then the 2 weeks after the full moon. All right. So the week before the full moon, you've got awakening. So you've got, which makes total sense, right? This is normally the Hanged Man here. It says, change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in the action. And so this is all about putting slow to your roll, so that you can see things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, which is connecting to the spiritual realm. And it also has this feeling of allowing things to unfold, allowing things to take its course. that pause that happens, and especially with this, like if you look at it this way, the enlightenment around, his head here, that is the connection to the higher world. So definitely makes total sense. And 12 breaks down to a 3, which is all about creativity. So also creative solutions will come as you tap in to that higher realm of where the creator is flowing so beautifully. Creator is the master of creation, right? Creativity. And then the week after the full moon, you've got 10 of spring, and spring is the wands. And so this is the 10 of wands, which means you've got a lot of energy coming in. And it says, ask for help from others. All work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So there's this kind of duality that comes with this card. One is that, like it mentions, the 10 of wands, you have so much energy that you've been taking on from other people, or all these responsibilities you're taking on to where you're just feeling exhausted, and you've got this it's like an anxious feeling. I got so much to do, I don't have enough to do it, and you just have all that going on, and it's like, relax, because the 10 of wands, the other side of it is that when you connect to this, wands is also fire element, which is spirit, and so it's also about not absorbing all that energy that's going on in the outside world, but connecting to this higher realm, connecting to this beautiful place, gives you this inner spiritual energy and allowing you to just really sit. I almost feel like a hermit feeling is needed for you to step back and away from all that stuff that's going on in the outside world there. Take a quick sip of coffee there. Yeah, because the second week after the full moon, you've got the tower that's going on here. And of course, this is letting go of belief systems that no longer work for you, an important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. And so, the hangman kind of is that in a way as well. If you look at it like it's a butterfly hanging, and it's like the cocoon, and it goes through this metamorphosis. The caterpillar takes its time away, it builds the cocoon around it, and it starts dissolving old ways of thinking and old beliefs. It actually, part of itself dissolves in order for it to become something more beautiful, something more higher, that flies higher, that's able to see things from a higher point of view, and you're able to go more distance than you ever would have crawling as a caterpillar along the ground. You can flutter and go into so many places and over walls and like even over water where you couldn't go before as a caterpillar. So it's this beautiful, message of that in this second week after the full moon, that there's something that is removed out of your life, but it happens for you. And there's this beautiful story that comes with the tower. And it's like, before you come down here, you are, of course, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. You're the soul, your spirit on the other side. And you choose, like, I'm going to come down to this game, and this is who I'm going to be. This is the avatar I'm going to choose to play during this game. My strengths, my opportunities, like anything you do, like when I always see the movie Jumanji, where they can see their strengths, their weaknesses, and what tools and weapons and stuff they have for their journey. You choose all that before you come down here. And you also, when you're going to come into the game and when you're going to leave the game. And then you have all these levels or all these experiences that you want to have while you're here. And even when you're within each of those experiences, your avatar has the free will. All these fated events and fated things that are going to happen and come into your life happen because you've asked them to. But your avatar within each one gets to choose what story it applies to each of those, and whether it's going to choose an emotion of extreme fear or an emotion of extreme unconditional love or something in between. And it gets to choose and experience life as it goes. When the tower comes in, is that there's this thing in your life. It's either like someone in your life, friendship, partnership, some human in your life, or some circumstance in your life, like a job or some sort of social status or something, or like something in your life, like money or possessions or home, whatever. And if that stayed in your life, you wouldn't be able to experience these other things. It's like if you don't have that cocoon experience where that caterpillar disintegrates itself, then you wouldn't be able to experience the butterfly. And if you are connected, like it's saying here, where you are listening and you're at the frequency of spirit, which is of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, that's the kind of the frequency that spirit speaks on. If you're down here in fear, it's too noisy for you to hear them. But like if you heed this and you connect and you listen, then you can hear the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when the lightning hits the tower to burn it down. Well, in some of the tower tarot cards, you'll see like someone being blown out of it, or someone jumping out of it, or both. And the message is that you can choose to jump out of the tower when you start hearing the countdown and remove the thing out of your life then. You don't have to wait. But a lot of times we like to experience all the way up to the blast and get blasted out of the tower. It's how we learn the hard way. We love learning the hard way. It's how we learn so well, right? But then when that happens, that's removed for us. And that's what this message that comes in here is. No matter what comes and is removed out of your life, you realize that it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So, you don't have to fret about it. You get to choose. You feel whatever you want to feel as it's burning down, but just take deep breaths and realize and try to remember the story. Okay, this is happening for me. I may not see it now, but I will see it later, and I'll be a beautiful butterfly. All right. I'm also going to pull some cards here from the Everyday Tarot and just see what the Creator wants you to know about each of these 3 weeks. All right, so tell us about this connection here, about seeing things from a higher perspective, about allowing things to just flow naturally and unfold naturally, taking time, and kind of this cocoon, taking time to yourself. Okay, yeah. You got the 8 of Cups here. So you've got cups are your emotions, of course, and all these cups are those things that were going to fulfill you in the outside world, but you realize you're walking away from all these different things. And so while you're in this cocoon, taking time and kind of evaluating and looking over your life, you're realizing those things that no longer serve you, and you're looking at what you're willing to walk away from, which makes total sense as this unfolds here, because this is all about letting go of what no longer serves you. So that's the week before the full moon is hitting. So I kind of feel like you're doing this reflection, and it could be that, something is triggering you to go inward and go, okay, I'm just going to chill and see what's going on here. And of course, you've got the moon and the sun in the corner there too. So you got moons and moons. All right. And then what about this energy? Tell us about what's overwhelming from the outside world. Okay. And then what's going to help with the inner energy, that beautiful, just flood of beautiful energy from the other side. So this is what's bringing you, oh my gosh. 10 of Wands. This is the 10 of Wands, and, it's called 10 of Spring here, but this is the 10 of Wands. So it's like, again, I mean what I said, you're just going to feel overwhelmed by all the external things in the world if you're trying to control them, and all this emotion and all this. I mean, it is normal. I mean, this last 2 years, if you're watching the news a lot and being on social media a lot and not filtering what you're watching, how can you not feel overwhelmed and feel this way? So this is really about cocooning yourself and realizing that. Let's see. Yeah, King of Pentacles. So this beautiful energy, the opposite energy of feeling just all the spiritual energy bubbling up within you. This is the feeling of gratitude. Pentacles is about the outside world. And I love that this is like showing you that you get to choose. You can look at and be burdened by everything that's going on in the world, focusing on what is not happening, and all the stuff that you feel that you have to carry for the world. Or you can look at it as this King of Pentacles who learned from experiencing the Ace of Pentacles all the way to the end of the suit that you have to find your worth from within, and whatever you focus on is what grows. So he's very much about, he learned to focus on gratitude, on loving what is, being thankful for what he's perceiving as being successful in his life and those beautiful things that are happening in life, and instead of focusing on lack and focusing on the other stuff. Because again, whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on all what you perceive as negative things in the world, that's what will grow in your mind and in your life. Same thing as if you focus on the beautiful things that are out there, focusing on the loving actions that are going on, not the fearing actions that are going on. Because if you focus on the fear grows. If you focus on the love grows. So I love that message. And then what about this Tower? Any clarification, or do you want it to be a surprise? What would you like us to know about the Tower experience? About what's going to fall away? What's going to be removed for us? Okay. Any others? Okay, that one. Okay, that's it. The Emperor is going to be removed from your life, which is good, because the Emperor, of course, one side of the Emperor is all about expectations and the roles, and it's more of the dictator feel. This dictator is going to be removed out of your life, this one that's been putting so much pressure, which is you. You are the one that takes on all of this stuff. You're the one that chooses how whatever story, like we had talked about the Tower experience, you are the one that gets to choose what story you put to any situation. So as these situations happen, you get to define it. You get to say, you know what, that's happening for us. Like, you can say like, okay, this, even like this outbreak of something across the world, it's like, oh, it's bad. We don't know. We don't know what the purpose behind it all is in the whole scheme of things. We're not the creator. We veiled ourselves from understanding what is all happening till we get back to the other side. Then we're like, oh, I see how my thread intertwined with the whole tapestry and helped it create to be what it is. I understand why that situation happened, and so we get to see all that. And there's a story, about. There was this young grandson who lived with his grandfather because he lost his parents when he was young, and so he was being raised by his grandfather. And the people of the village were like, oh, that's sad that he lost his parents. And it's like, well, it is what it is. And then back then, having a horse was like everything, because this was back in before vehicles and everything back then, where horses helped you till your ground for your harvest, helped you carry, the wagon, pull the wagon to town with all your crops. It was what you used for travel and everything like that. Well, they didn't have a horse, and so the townspeople, again, felt bad for him. But a storm came and it scared a horse into their barn and trapped it. And so the townspeople were like, yay, you got a horse, yay. And then while the grandson was trying to tame the horse and he got on top of him, it bucked him and he broke his leg, and that's a bad thing. But the next week, an emperor declared, his emperor declared war on the neighboring nation, and so all able-bodied men had to go to war, and because he had his broken leg, he was left behind. So the townspeople were like, yay! And then the next week, a big storm came through, and the horse escaped. Everyone was like, oh, that's a bad thing. But then the week after that, actually a few days later, the horse came back and he brought 10 more horses with him. And so the townspeople were like, yay! And so, that fluctuation of the story goes that we have no idea what a good thing or a bad thing is because we don't see the whole big picture of things. So there you go, the Emperor. And then you have the 10 of Cups. And I love this because when you let this go, the beautiful thing on the other side is the 10 of Cups. The cups are the emotions, like the 8 of Cups is what you're letting go. 9 of Cups is like wishes fulfilled. 10 of Cups is like glorious, it's like rainbows shooting out of your butt and everything else. You're just like so happy and feeling so emotionally full and content, with that. So, beautiful result of that. And just a promise of this is for you, trust me. All right. And since we're talking to your messengers, we're going to pull a card here from your guardian angel. And your guardian angel's been with you since your soul was created, will be with you for the rest of eternity. And they chose to be with you. So it's like your buddy for life. And so we're just asking, what message do you have for our Geminis here? Here we go. What I love is I like to show this because there is this message for this period of time that just know that you are never alone. You have this whole host of beings of unconditional love and light that are always with you, never abandoning you, doing things to help your life unfold for you. They never mess with your free will, so all you have to do is ask them, connect with them, ask them questions, ask them for things, for, signs and synchronicities and for answers, and they will definitely do that. You've got the Creator, Spirit, guardian angels and spirit guides, your loved ones who've lived with you on this, during this lifetime and have passed and gone to the other side already, ancestors, a whole slew of beings of unconditional light that are always with you, and they're definitely wanting you to connect with them because you've got prayer as well. And it says, "Dear guardian angel, help me dissolve past guilt or regret. Help me to see that all is always in perfect and divine order. Help me let go of the fear that I project on my future. Help me to live fully within each precious moment and feel your eternal love within and around me. Help me to realize and fulfill my true potential. Thank you." Yeah, and a lot of these cards aren't prayers, but this prayer is like this asking, exactly as we just said, connect and ask them because they will definitely answer. And they just are like so excited, just waiting for us to ask, and they don't even let us finish our sentence. Hey, would you guys mind helping with? Yes, what do you need? Let's go. That's how they are. And then we're going to pull a card here from this Whispering Woods, because this is all woodsy, and you got the fairies, and you got the birds. This just feels very nature and very flowing, and so I was drawn to these. And so we're just going to ask Spirit, what's your final message for you for this Pisces full moon period of time here? One of those. Okay, it feels like it's this one right here. Yep. Like a butterfly, transform, emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. Shut up. Just can't make it up, right? That's what it's all about. We totally talked about the cocoon and the butterfly. So there you go. There's your message. I love it. Just know as you go throughout this 3-week period around this full moon that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. So enjoy your little 3-week phase of this moon, and I will definitely be talking to you very soon. Sorry, I was just totally taken aback by this. Threw me off my game, but I love it. Enjoy your cocoon. We'll be in touch soon. You take care.